is there are so many opportunities really with the Navy Federal credit cards. So in today's conversation, I want to talk to you about the Navy Federal credit card automatic approvals, how to get a large amount fast and easy, how to get a large automatic approval fast and easy. Okay, I want you to stick around because you're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Now let's roll. In today's conversation, the whole emphasis will be on Navy Federal credit card automatic approvals. How do you get a large amount fast and easy? Okay. The first thing you want to do is you want to think about banking. It's important. First, you need to become a member if you are not a member yet. But once you are a member, you want to open a checking and savings account. Remember, I didn't say checking or savings account. You need to have both. If you want this strategy to work, the first thing is you need to think about this duality. You need to open a checking account and you need to open a savings account. I really don't care how much you put into those accounts at the beginning, but you got to have both accounts. It's important. So when we talk about checking accounts, you actually have, you can choose from several accounts. You want to choose the account category that matches with your spending, with your lifestyle. Okay, so when we talk about checking accounts with Navy Federal, you have a free active duty checking, you have free easy checking, you have the free campus checking, you have the free everyday checking. Okay, you have the flagship checking. So you really have a lot of choices. In our experience, and based on years of research, and based on some of the checking accounts that our own team members have, just go with the free everyday checking. This is you can go with that. This one has no monthly service fee, okay, no opening deposit requirements, and has a no minimum balance requirements. Think about that. So you really are you are really free here, okay? So, or if you don't like the free everyday checking, try that free easy checking. This is kind of cool. This is a cool checking account also. And for all kinds of income, if you're making 20 grand a year, you're making 25 grand, you're making 75 grand, it doesn't really matter, okay? So open a checking account. That's the first step. Second step is you want to open a savings account. And you really have a lot of choices here also. So if you want to, you can open a checking account. You can open a savings account for, let's say, for emergencies. So you have an emergency savings account. You can open a savings account for investment options. This is totally possible. If you have a college student in your household, and you want to open a savings account for that student, this is totally possible. Okay. You can also have an IRA. You can also have an MMA, a CD, a certificate of deposits. Okay. So the constellation of choices is really large here. But yes, first step is open a checking and a savings account. Number two, you want to set up direct deposit. Boss, I'm talking to you about direct deposit, okay? And listen, it doesn't matter how much you're making. If you're making $1,000 a month, it doesn't matter, or $10,000 a month, doesn't matter. But you need to set up direct deposit with Navy Fed, because if you want to get the automatic approvals for Navy Federal credit card, they need to see your cash inflows. They need to see what's coming in, right? They need to have a clear idea of your income, okay? And so if you set up direct deposit, they have visibility into your income right off the bat. And this helps because they can actually judge your lifestyle. They can see they can actually calculate, or let's say extrapolate your DTI, your debt to income ratio, and have a clear idea of what kind of lifestyle you have, okay? And if you set up a direct deposit through Navy Fed, there are a lot of advantages to that. It is convenient, okay? It saves you valuable time. Remember, if your goal is to nurture a stronger bond with Navy Fed, you want to pull some of your cash with them, okay? And it is more secure than paper checks. I'm talking about direct deposit, so you don't have to actually get paper checks from your employer and then deposit into your Navy Fed account. It just it's just hassle-free that way, okay? And one thing we also love is that if you set up direct deposit with the Navy Check, with Navy Check, with Navy Fed, you are able to actually budget more conveniently. So in other words, for yourself, boss, I'm talking to you right now. For yourself, it's great also beyond the credit card thing that we're talking about here today, beyond that credit card automatic approval, it also serves as a great tool for budgeting. Okay, so if you want to set up direct deposit through Navy Fed, you can actually do that online. Okay, you just have to log into your member account, and you can there is actually there are instructions you need to follow. So you got to do two things. You got to do things in Navy Fed, but you also have to do things with your employer. So you want to contact your employer. They probably have, you just contact the HR department in your company. They probably have a direct deposit form, okay? And on the direct deposit form, they will ask you to provide your name, your info, all that kind of stuff. But you need to also include your account information with the Navy Fed. You need to put the deposit amount. Usually you can deposit the full amount or a partial amount. It's totally up to you. And in some cases, they want you to attach a voided check or deposit slip. Okay, so once you do this, just submit the form to the HR department, and within the next payroll or the one after that, you should be able to see your money directly into your Navy Fed savings or checking account. The third step, and this one is really important. And we see a lot of people who just underestimate the importance of making sure that you check your FICO score. Oh yeah, the thing is, we are talking about automatic approvals for Navy Fed credit card, right? Credit card. So we are speaking about the possibility of having hard pulls here. So if you want to have, if you were to go through a hard pull, you want to make sure that whatever info is available on your FICO report is accurate. Okay, so don't underestimate that. We have said this time and again, it's important to actually monitor your credit score. You want to do it on a weekly basis or monthly basis. Don't underestimate this phase. It's important. We see time and again many people who have errors, inaccuracies on their credit report, and these errors stay there for years. And you just kind of wonder, how come I am at 750 and I cannot go beyond 800 in my FICO score? Because you have a derogatory item sitting on your credit file for 10 years and you have no idea about that, boss. Okay, so we want to have a strategy whereby we check your credit score in all the 3 credit bureaus every single month. I don't care how you do it. There are lots of possibilities to do it for free. I'm not asking you to spend a dime, okay? I'm not asking you to spend $10 or $20 to actually check your credit score. Not at all. You have several ways to do this for free. You can actually, there is a website called annualcreditreport.com. This is a website that is mandated by Congress. And every year, once a year, you have access to your credit scores and reports from TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, okay, once a year. Or if you don't have time to wait for a year, you actually can sign up with Credit Karma, with Wallet Hub, with Nerd Wallet, and a constellation of other providers to actually monitor your credit score. Okay, it's all about that. Now, those FICO score providers are free. You have nothing to pay. The only thing is you are giving them your info, right? So they are actually checking your info, and they might propose to you some commercial products, credit cards, loans, or have you in the meantime. So those are things you need to think about. So you can actually get your free credit score from them. You can contact your credit card provider. Okay. So before if you want to be in a good situation to get Navy Federal automatic approvals, you need to check your FICO score. Very important. Now let's talk about the PreQual tool. So the pre-qualification tool. On Navy Fed, there is a PreQual tool. We are actually showing you on the screen, and we are leaving the link on the screen here, so you have a full idea about what we're talking about. The thing is that if you are already a member, you can find out if you pre-qualify for a credit card before you submit an application. And this basically will not affect your credit score because we're speaking about a soft pull. The only thing is you have to be a member. So if you're not a member, you can't see that link. You can see the link like online, but you wouldn't see it for real if you don't have an account with them. Okay, so it's really important to understand that. So one thing you need to understand is that when we talk about Navy Fed pre-approval works, how the whole thing works, it's very simple. So they monitor your expenses. They monitor your, if you have direct deposit with them, they see your cash inflows and they also see your cash outflows, okay? And based on your situation with them, how long you have been a member and your Navy Fed internal credit score, they will basically start proposing you commercial products. We're speaking about credit cards, we're speaking about other products, okay? This could be mortgages, home equity lines, line of credit, a lot of things. And so the thing is that there is no guarantee you'll be approved though, because you've only been pre-screened, okay? But after you receive the pre-screened offer in the mail or online, you can apply for the credit card to determine whether you are approved. Now, during the pre-approval process, you will need to provide information like your name, address, gross annual income, monthly range, mortgage payments, social security number, and more, okay? So once you submit the form, you will find out whether you will have been approved for the credit card, okay? And one thing I want to say here is that if for any reasons, let's say you have been denied for this credit card, Navy Fed will let you know. They will give you an adverse action notice, including your Navy Federal internal credit score, okay? Now, the thing is that there are some drawbacks to credit card pre-approvals, whether we're speaking about Navy Federal credit card or other credit cards for that matter. The thing is, credit card pre-approval means that you have met Navy Fed's initial criteria for a card. And in some cases, this might actually be against you because it kind of forces you to apply for credit cards even though you don't need to, okay? And because a lot of people think that a Navy Federal credit card, a Navy Federal pre-approval offer is not something you want to refuse, okay? So people are constantly under the pressure. So that pressure is the drawback we have seen in our research. However, if you really need the card, it's not really pressure anymore because you are actually expecting it. The fifth thing you want to think about is your CUR. And we really want to talk about your credit utilization ratio. If your goal is to get automatic approvals for Navy Federal credit cards, you really need to watch your credit utilization ratio. This is important. And on this show, we have told people it's better to keep it to 1/3. You want to keep your ideal credit utilization ratio should be 33% maximum. We're speaking big maximum, okay? And if you can keep it around 30%, that's kind of cool. Also, some people have said 10% or 9% or whatever. It's totally up to you. The bottom line is the lower your CUR, the better. Why? Because CUR contributes to 30% of your FICO score. This is kind of crazy, but it is crazily high. So if you think about it, when you think about your payment history and your CUR, those two accounts for nearly 2/3 of your FICO score. We're speaking 65%. Your payment history accounts for 35%, and your CUR, your credit utilization ratio, counts for 30%. So this is really important. So when we talk about what's a good credit utilization ratio, I've told you before, we're speaking about 33% maximum, or 20%, 10% if you can really keep it. Okay, this is important. And if you want to improve your credit utilization ratio, the only thing is you just have to either pay down your balances or use the card less often. This is just what it is, because the more you charge on your card, the higher your credit utilization ratio. That's just what it is. So you want to actually you want to try making payments to the card so you can reduce your outstanding balance, and then you can improve your utilization ratio. Now, a lot of people find it difficult, but when we speak about CUR, this is not just it's just not a one-time isolated thing. It is contextual. It is part of your budget. It is part of your household finances. It is part of are you living beyond your means, or you are living within your means? Think about it, because that's what's really going to affect your credit utilization ratio in the end. Are you living? What is your DTI? And I'll speak about DTI later on. But what is the charges you are putting on the card versus your needs versus your wants? I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sort of Keyword Show. I'm still talking to you in today's conversation about Navy Federal credit card automatic approvals. How do you get a large amount fast and easy? If you want to get a large amount fast and easy, you want to pay attention to your DTI. And it's really important because whenever we speak about CUR, we also want to talk about DTI, your debt to income ratio, because those are correlated. It's important. There's a strong correlation. I wouldn't say there is a one-to-one correlation, but there is a strong correlation between your DTI and your CUR. And the thing is that when we speak about what is a good DTI ratio, we simply want to, the process is kind of analogous to what I said earlier. 33%, 30% is a sweet spot for your DTI as it is for your CUR. Okay. And the thing is that when we speak about debt to income ratio, it's very simple. You take your debt, you take how much you spend on your debt every month, and you divide that by your income. Simple as that. Okay. So if you're making 10 grand a month and you're spending $4,000 towards your debt, that will be 40%. It's very simple. So when you think about it as a fraction here, you actually you can actually see that you can, if you want to reduce your DTI, it is mathematical. It is a simple, it is a fraction. So either you decrease the numerator of the fraction, or you increase the denominator of the fraction. In other words, you decrease your expenses, your debt servicing, how much you allocate to debt servicing every month, whether you reduce that or you increase your income. I don't care how you do it, whether you need to take on a job or a second job, or it's what it is, but you have to figure that out yourself. So if you want to improve your debt to income ratio, boss, I'm talking to you right now. Just make sure that you avoid taking on new debt. Okay, pay down existing debt. Okay, and you want to pay more than the minimum. So if the credit card, if you have a $1,000 on a credit card, and the credit card issuer says that the minimum due is $10, don't pay only $10 or $15. You want to pay $300 or $400 or $800, so you can not only increase your DTI, you can reduce your DTI, but also reduce your CUR. And the bottom line is, you want to use the budget if possible. Use the budget. Try to contextualize the whole thing. So you use a budget so you can have a clear idea of what your expenses are and what your income is. And the seventh step that you need to do here is that you want to apply. Okay, so when we talk about Navy Federal automatic approvals, you still need to apply. In other words, you still need to actually enter the transaction, so Navy Fed knows that you are really interested in the card. I mean, this thing, I mean, without you, they can't really do anything. So you got to think about your needs. Okay, so it's important, once you identify your needs, you know exactly what you want. Are you interested in a card that has no annual fees? The card that will you be carrying the balance? So those are conversations we need to have. Like if you are carrying a balance, then you want to look for a card that has a low APR. It just makes sense. That's just pure logic, right? Do you want to earn more rewards? Think about that. Those are things you got to think about. Okay. And when we talk about the Navy Federal credit card, you got to think about some credit card terms, the terminology that's important. Many people do not really understand what the certain things mean. Okay. So balance transfer intra APR, purchase intra APR, penalty APR. Those are things I want you to become cognizant of. I want you to become, familiar with. It's important. And remember that when you are applying for a card, you might have a hard pull. So your credit score might be impacted a little bit. Okay, you just need to be aware of that. And it's important to understand that when Navy Fed wants you to actually go through a full application, they want you to have your full legal name with them. You put this on the application form, your date of birth, your address, your social, your annual income, all kind of identifying information. Okay, and it's important to understand that at the end of the day, You are the one deciding which credit card that you need. Okay. The thing is that you will get an automatic approval once you actually fill out the application form. So once you submit the application form, you will get an automatic approval, provided that you have actually followed all the steps I have given you in today's conversation. And preferably, you want to do things at a branch. I know a lot of people just love the convenience of applying online and all that kind of stuff. But listen, you want to do things the the old-fashioned way. Go to the branch or pick up the phone and speak to someone. That way, you reduce your chances of just applying randomly, of applying blindly. You want to have context. You want to gather some intel about the application first before actually going forward. Okay, so those are really important, folks. Do not underestimate that. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it today. And I was talking to you about Navy Federal credit card automatic approvals. How do you get a large amount fast and easy? Number one, think about your banking relationship. Number two, set up direct deposit. Number three, check your FICO score and make sure that it is actually it has no errors or inaccuracies. Number four, use the PreQual tool, the pre-qualification tool. Number five, make sure that you reduce your CUR, your credit utilization ratio. Number six, you want to reduce your debt to income ratio. And number seven, you want to apply. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.